Russia in the early 1600s stood at the edge of collapse.
The royal dynasty was gone, famine struck the land, and waves of impostors claimed to be the true ruler. Foreign armies marched across the borders, nobles betrayed each other, and peasants starved by the millions. From 1598 to 1615, the country faced civil war, invasion, and chaos. Yet somehow, out of this nightmare, Russia survived. This is the story of the Time of Troubles, one of the most dramatic chapters in Russian history. In 1598, Tsar Fyodor, the son of Ivan the Terrible, died without leaving an heir. With him ended the Rurik dynasty that had ruled Russia for more than 7 centuries. The throne stood empty, and the boyars, Russia's noble families, began to plot. Into this dangerous vacuum stepped Boris Godunov, the brother-in-law of Fyodor and a clever politician. Boris had been the power behind the throne during Fyodor's reign, but ruling in his own name was a different challenge. Many boyars looked down on him, calling him an upstart. Common people whispered rumors. Some said he had murdered Ivan the Terrible's youngest son Dmitri years earlier. Others claimed his reign was cursed. Even though Boris was crowned Tsar, his authority rested on shaky ground. Then disaster struck. Between 1601 and 1603, the skies turned against Russia. Heavy rains ruined harvests for 3 years in a row. Crops rotted in the fields. The Volga and other rivers flooded villages. Without grain, food prices soared. People starved in the streets of Moscow and across the countryside. Some boiled grass and tree bark for soup. Chronicles report desperate families eating leather belts, and in the darkest corners, some even turned to cannibalism. Historians estimate that up to 2 million people, nearly 1/3 of Russia's population, perished in the famine. Boris Godunov tried to help. He opened state grain reserves and ordered free bread distributed in Moscow. But his enemies spread rumors that he himself had caused the famine with sorcery. Peasants rebelled, bandits roamed the forests, ambushing travelers. In this atmosphere of despair, a man appeared in Poland claiming to be the lost son of Ivan the Terrible. Prince Dmitri, thought to have died as a child. Whether he was a runaway monk or truly a miracle survivor, many wanted to believe him. With support from Polish nobles, foreign mercenaries, and Cossacks eager for plunder, he marched into Russia in 1604. Villages joined his cause, hoping for change. Boris Godunov's forces prepared to crush the rebellion, but in 1605, Boris suddenly died. Moscow, tired of famine and chaos, welcomed Dmitri as Tsar. For a brief moment, the impostor ruled, but his reign was short. He favored his Polish allies, married a Polish bride, and ignored Russian traditions. The boyars, furious at being sidelined, struck back. In May 1606, conspirators stormed the Kremlin. Dmitri was dragged from his palace and killed. His corpse was displayed to the public, mutilated and burned. His ashes were fired from a cannon back toward Poland, a brutal message to any future pretenders. But Russia's nightmare was far from over. Within a year, another man appeared claiming to be Dmitri. He gathered followers and established a rival court outside Moscow. Soon after, yet another false Dmitri emerged. At one point, Russia had multiple pretenders and rival governments. Villages and towns were forced to choose sides. Peasants rose in rebellion under leaders like Ivan Bolotnikov, who promised freedom from serfdom. In 1609, Sweden invaded northern Russia, while Poland made its move from the west. In 1610, Moscow itself fell under Polish control. The boyars, desperate for order, even invited the Polish Prince Władysław to take the Russian throne. For the first time in history, the Kremlin was occupied by foreign troops. The humiliation was complete. Moscow's streets echoed with foreign voices. The Orthodox Church was pressured by Catholic allies of the Poles. Meanwhile, resistance grew. Across the countryside, militias formed, swearing to drive out the invaders. Among them rose two unlikely heroes, Kuzma Minin, a merchant from Nizhny Novgorod, and Prince Dmitry Pozharsky, a wounded noble. Together they united peasants, nobles and Cossacks into one national army. In 1612, Minin and Pozharsky's militia marched on Moscow. With limited weapons but enormous determination, they surrounded the Kremlin, where Polish forces were trapped. The siege dragged on, supplies ran out inside the fortress. Outside, Russian fighters prayed, sang hymns and prepared for the final assault. In October 1612, they stormed the defenses. The Poles surrendered. For the first time in years, Moscow was free. The bells of the Kremlin rang out across the city, announcing liberation. After years of famine, civil war and foreign occupation, Russia needed stability. In 1613, the boyars elected a new Tsar, 16-year-old Mikhail Romanov. Young, untested, but seen as innocent, he became a symbol of unity. The Romanov dynasty would rule Russia for the next 300 years. The time of troubles was finally over, but the memory of famine, impostors, and invasion left deep scars. The time of troubles was one of the darkest eras in Russian history. From 1598 to 1615, famine, impostors, and foreign invasion nearly destroyed the nation. Yet out of the suffering came a renewed sense of unity. What do you think was the most shocking part of this story? The famine, the pretenders, or the moment when Moscow itself was ruled by foreigners? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible history stories.